Welcome everybody out there in the internet, interwebs, and all the far-flung places in the world to episode 64 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture. As always, I am Big Pop's Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art. With me is the lovely, the one, the only. I interrupted her talking again.
Hi, sweet friends. My name is Hannah Jo, and together we're an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
I love that little jingle music.
It's cutie. Hey, be closer to your microphone.
I love that little jingle music. Is that too close?
No.
All right. Well, Hannah Jo, what's up? What are we doing here today?
Hey, I'm so glad that you asked. We are going to talk about some nerd news as per the usual.
So glad you asked.
We're going to talk about what we've been binging. You're going to share your pull list with us, and we're going to talk about a comic we read, another Amazon Prime comic
Freebie?
that anybody can download if they have Amazon Prime.
Correct.
Called The Dead Boy Detectives. And we're going to talk about Everything Everywhere All at Once because it pretty much smashed.
Oh, yeah. It destroyed the Oscars. Did you watch any of it?
High-key destroyed. No.
It was actually
what did
good.
I do on Sunday?
The Oscars were good. I mean, nobody got smacked in the face.
That happened last year.
I know. And they talked about it, and it was handled very well. Yeah.
Well, so a piece of nerd news that I saw on the internet, don't know if it's true or not, is that Will Smith is coming back to acting, and his first thing is going to be Bad Boys 4.
I did see that. That is not a lie.
That felt appropriate.
I know.
Bad Boys 4.
Let's just get into that then. We'll jump right into the part of the session that makes us topical. Well, I guess comic books does too.
We're the most topical of all podcasts.
I know.
How topical are you? The most.
I'm the mostest. I mean, the HBO execs and all those people that call me the Disney folks. And now the Paramount and the Peacock people are calling. I can't. I just got to smack them off with like a stick.
Yeah. Just
I know.
Have carry a fly swatter with you everywhere you go.
Nerd news. Well, Hannah, I mean, we just spoke a week ago. Did you get more news? Because I got quite a bit, actually.
I didn't get quite a bit. Some of the stuff that I was reading, I just genuinely didn't care that much about.
Well, that happens. Well, then I don't need to know it. And I feel sorry for that. I feel sorry for some of my friends who are huge into gaming and gamers and board games and everything. Because I'm Todd. I'll just watch Turner.
Yeah.
So
I genuinely enjoy some video games.
I don't have time for them.
I don't, but I do.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Trevin and I will just sit on the couch together and play video games.
Well, that's fine. Your mom doesn't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. But
I'm
that's
a
cool.
youth.
What? I'm an old fart. Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all.
Kids out there listening, don't call your old people old farts.
No, I'm just I'm a youth.
I'm a gray beard.
You youths.
I'm the oldest dude.
Aw.
I'm the oldest dude on Love Thy Nerd, I think. So,
I saw a couple things.
Okay.
I watched the trailer for the new Little Mermaid.
They showed it in the middle of the Oscars.
Did they?
Yeah, because each studio got a commercial.
Oh, good.
And
that feels appropriate.
That looks so
It looks so cutie,
good.
doesn't it?
Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
Primo.
And
those of you who can't see, I'm making an okay symbol with my hands.
And Benicio del Toro. No,
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem as
I literally was watching the commercial and I was like, Javier Bardem?
Which is so funny because he goes from being the leader of a desert planet to the leader of the bottom of the ocean.
As he should. Versatility.
That is hilarious. Did you think about that?
No. I just was like, how much are they paying that man to be in this movie? That's what I thought.
Like in the one movie he's in, they reclaim water from their body excretions to drink because they can't get water. And in this movie, he breathes water. Anyway,
my favorite thing is that he's a king wherever he goes, though, man. He in charge.
He in charge until
he in charge.
Al-Muad'Dib.
I was gonna say something, but here's what I'm gonna say instead. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go. That's hilarious.
Trevor and I make
Yeah,
those sounds sometimes at each
I
other.
love it. That's great. Yeah.
It's a
What else
good
you got? Have
movie.
you ever watched the last Bill and Ted's movie?
I haven't seen none of them.
Oh my gosh. That's what we should do.
Okay.
We're gonna binge those and talk about those one time. Not next time. I know what we're gonna
Okay.
do next time. I haven't told you
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
But
Right
anyway, so
on.
what else you got?
I have that apparently they're gonna make a Creed franchise.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know how.
Um,
Here's the thing: the first Creed movie was excellent.
I didn't
Was
see any of them.
absolutely yes, you did. We watched it together
Okay,
because
well,
what's his
wait,
name
no,
was
no,
in
no.
there. The
That
dun
one
dun dun
wasn't
dun dun
called
dun dun
Creed.
dun
Was it
dun. Yeah, it
called
was. It
Creed?
was called Creed.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was a good movie.
It was a
I didn't
good
watch
movie.
I didn't watch the second one.
I didn't watch the second one. The
But
third
it
one just came out.
Well, no, did the third one just come out? Oh,
Yeah,
well, then I am way behind.
the third one just came out, and apparently there's talks about like a Creed franchise on Amazon.
Oh, like a show type
I
deal
don't
thingy.
a franchise.
Okay, well,
A franchise to me is like movies and shows
I
and
can't imagine that there's
shenanigans.
enough stuff there. It would be, I don't know. I'm sure they could make it into a show. I won't watch it.
Big
Not
question
because I
mark.
got, not because I got anything against it. It's just something I don't, unless he fights an alien.
Well,
I
and
would
I'm
watch
like all
that.
for it. I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, granted, I've watched the first movie. The first movie was really good. I very much enjoyed it. I understand their need for a sequel. I think they probably could have stopped there.
Well, that's
And
what they said about all the Rockies.
yeah.
And then the last couple were really good.
Yeah, so
The
maybe
Rocky
Creed 3
Balboa movie.
bops and we should watch it and we'd be like, the
Right.
Creed franchise will be great. But
Oh,
I
well,
don't
I hope so.
I just thought that was interesting.
What else you got? Or do you want me to tell you something I got?
I only have 2 more pieces of news.
Well, then give them and then I'll just run down mine.
Okay. Judy Blume is coming
Yeah.
out with an Amazon Prime documentary.
Oh, because there's a movie coming out.
Yeah.
They've made one of her
Hello,
books into
God,
a
it's
movie.
Me, Margaret. Yeah.
Yes. I saw the preview. It looked Judy Blume-ish.
Her books are very much known for being
Honest.
blatantly honest about the transition from girlhood to being a teenager.
Right. I agree.
Like
and you can tell that from the trailer for the movie.
Yeah. And so one of her books is for one of her main book, like the like book is Forever ... And the movie that's coming out is called Judy Blume Forever. And they have
cool.
like Molly Ringwald is like interviewed in it. They have like all of these famous people.
She would be good to be interviewed because she was basically the flavor,
the it girl
in the late 80s.
when
and
like
then
she
just
was coming out
disappeared.
with books.
Yeah,
When like Judy Blume was big.
Pretty in Pink. There's 1,000 of them. Pretty in Pink's the one that sticks out the most, mostly. Oh, Breakfast Club,
Candles.
16 Candles, all those, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she wrote. There's a
Small,
book that
pretty
I
cheeky.
loved, Tiger Eyes by Judy Blume, which was written in 1981, and I loved that. Oh, it was so sad. Her books are just sad, like that. Ooh, Tiger Eyes was such a good book. But
these are books to read as a teen. Would you say? Not sure.
There was a book that got passed around in my middle school that I got in trouble for reading. I don't know if you remember that.
Harry Potter.
The Forever ... by Judy Blume.
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
I got grounded from reading and had to read the books in a different way.
Don't. We're going to talk. Don't get that. Don't go into that.
But
like Ed has already told me in the chat that I have failed you as a parent.
You are a wonderful parent, Dad.
All right.
I'm grateful for the way that you did the
Wait,
best you
did
could.
she just say that her dad and mom grounded her from reading Yes World, and it wasn't the first time or the last time?
I did get it. Well, it's like, well, she hasn't seen Bill and Ted, so that's how you're a failure. That's funny.
I know, gotcha.
But Judy Blume Forever is coming out on Amazon Prime on April 28th.
Gotcha. Oh, that's soon. All right.
Yeah,
what else you got?
Less than a month away. A month plus away. I just yay Oscars about all of the people that got Oscar wins
I know. Although I did feel sad for some people that didn't win. I
Like
usually
who?
don't. Well, Judd Hirsch was nominated. You would recognize Judd Hirsch as the dad of Jeff Goldblum in the Independence Day movies. He was a big star
Classic.
in Taxi, but he
Classic.
was but he didn't win. But the you know um what's his name? Ken Hugh
Short
Wong.
round.
I can't Yeah, he won. He beat him. I wrote it down
Well,
because I
Waymond
didn't.
is like icon.
Yeah, Ki Hu Kwan. Yeah, Ki Hu Kwan. Yeah, yeah. So he won. So yeah,
Brandon Fraser coming back and winning an Oscar
I
just
know. Which is
made my heart so happy.
so. Listen, I love that because
So
I
happy.
I am a Doom Patrol fan. The show, which is definitely adult on HBO Max. Folks, don't let your kids watch that ever, and don't watch it with the volume up when they're in the room. P.S. But anyway, so he has a huge role in that, and they have literally just stopped this final season midway. And I was like, I don't understand why. Well, it's because Brendan Fraser is doing all this press
Press
junket and stuff for this. So
for the
basically,
whale.
yeah.
Well,
Yes.
what is the whale?
Do you want me to tell you?
Ed wants
I'll
to
tell you.
see it, so maybe don't spoil it.
Okay. I saw the whale.
Was it good? Would I like it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
My
fair.
biggest issue with it was, it's like anytime Christianity is brought up, it always seems like it gets a bad nod. And maybe that's because a lot of people's experience with Christianity has been bad. I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I think Rainn Wilson tweeted out something just this week. The guy, who Rainn Wilson is,
Mhm.
about because
Dwight.
the guy from one of the guys from in The Last of Us is like a Bible beating preacher, and they're like, and the guy Rainn Wilson was basically the gist of the tweet was, so it's like every time Christianity is brought up in popular culture media, like when a guy brings out a Bible, he's automatically the villain, basically. And he goes, wouldn't it be cool if like they weren't, if they really did talk about love and patience and all this kind of stuff? And I was like, yeah, but so that's part of it. It's called you think it's called the whale, honestly, because the guy is like
he's
700
like
pounds.
morbidly obese. I'm
It's not.
reading on the Wikipedia right
It
now.
is not. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's really called the whale because of a short story, an essay that someone wrote that is about Moby Dick.
I was going to say it's Moby Dick because I read that he was an English teacher.
Yeah, he is an online English professor for like a college, and never turns his camera on. Yes. So anyway, it's a good movie. I really did like it, but it was hard in some places. And listen, it immediately starts out with the shock factor, like quick. It's like, oh, like the movie starts, and I literally said that out loud in the theater. I went, oh, yes. And Nathan was with us and saw it with me and your mom. And he was like, well, that was just to wean people out. Like somebody would get up and leave immediately, or they would stay and watch the movie. So nobody got him left. But anyway, yes.
Brandon Fraser
for
and
him.
Sadie Fink.
Who?
Sadie Fink, his daughter.
I don't know who that is.
Ellie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sadie Fink is.
Oh, yeah. That's his daughter in the movie. I don't know who she is.
Sadie Fink is in Stranger Things.
Oh.
Starting season 2. She's the redhead.
There you go. Really?
Yeah.
Well, she was a punk.
Well, she's in a lot of movies right now. Everybody loves her, which, I mean, she seems like a very sweet girl.
So the young boy in it, who was he's like a missionary. He's on a missionary. He was the young kid that Tony Stark hides out in his garage.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about those.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that I was very, very glad for all of the people that won actor, actress, supporting. For
both
actor,
of them,
actress, like all of those 4 people.
And okay, so the song that won was from the Indian movie that is on Netflix. Yeah, I want to watch it now.
What movie?
That song was called RRR. I don't know.
Oh,
but it
Trevin
keeps-
watched that.
Yeah, but it won.
It's supposed to be great.
Well, I want to go watch it.
It's
Mhm.
it's like westerny question mark
Okay. Well, anyway.
or like fighting. It was rated
Yeah.
R and is like 3 hours, and so I didn't watch it.
Oh gosh, yeah. I probably won't watch that. That's
It was really
that's an awful
long.
lot of what. Yeah. You got any more?
No, that's all.
Okay, so there's going to be a Wicked movie, right?
Yes.
Two-parter.
No.
Two-parter.
I knew that there was going to be a Mean Girls musical
Okay.
movie.
Yeah, well, this is Wicked. It stars this is Wicked the movie. I don't understand. It's right here in front of me. Anyway, my microphone, I'm getting too far away. So apparently Ariana Grande is one of the sisters. I'm pretty darn sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it was
Interesting casting.
they were going to release them Christmas 2024, Christmas 2025.
I'm down.
It's going to be Thanksgiving 2024. So they moved it up.
Wonder what's coming out in Christmas that they think's going to do, or are they thinking we'll get Thanksgiving and Christmas if we come out on Thanksgiving Day?
I don't know, but the guy who directed Crazy Rich Asians is the one directing this.
Oh, that movie was so good.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch that when we're done with this. It's on
I'll
HBO.
be honest. I thought it would be dumb. I really enjoyed it.
Crazy Rich Asians?
Yeah, it was great.
It's a really good movie.
A fantastic movie. Honestly, fantastic
really,
movie.
really good movie.
Oh, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
in it.
she's the mom.
And she's going to be in Wicked. She's in everything now. She's in Star Trek.
Sick.
So Discovery. Yeah. So
Cool.
Here's something interesting I didn't know, but I heard about it today.
Tell me about it, my dear Papa.
Marvel has sent a subpoena, a request
Yes.
to Reddit/Google
About Quantumania.
because someone released 63 pages of dialogue, not the script, but like like the closed captioning, the entire closed captioning for the movie. And so here's the deal with that. They don't only want,
They want to sue.
What-
They want money from the person who released it.
but here's the tricky part. They want the data from everyone that responded or talked
No.
about it.
So
So
that feels like that feels like an
yeah.
internet ethics, like privacy.
so yeah,
Giant
so I don't know
conversation.
how this is going to go down, but it's going to get so they subpoenaed, they put a cease and desist to Google for the thing, but by the time Google got to take it down, somebody had already taken it down.
Mm.
So Google couldn't even do anything. 'Cause I guess Google owns Reddit. Maybe.
Oh,
I don't
Google,
know either.
Dad.
I know they own this, right? Okay, so I
Like,
just thought
let's
that
be
was
honest.
okay. Here is the thing that
I'm with Ed on this one. Ed said it's one thing to violate copyright and something totally different to comment on it.
I agree with it 100%. So, yeah. So, here is a speaking of computers and all that jazz and the internet. There
And
is
all that jazz.
That's a great show too. It's surprising how
Chicago.
many people have never seen Chicago.
It's also on
Um,
HBO if you
and it's
needed
not for
a
kids
musical to
either.
watch.
Sipowicz.
Blitz.
There is
No,
a new
Cicero.
Sorry, I can't
Lip.
remember.
Lip.
Lips. I don't say it.
I
Anywho.
didn't. Did you see me stop myself? You're
You did
welcome.
great
This is a
job.
family-friendly podcast.
Okay, listen. This is a show coming out on Peacock, which
Okay.
comes out April 20th. It's a new show. It's just called Mrs. Davis,
I saw the nun lady.
a nun fighting AI. This looks awesome. So like there's like an AI, like people are wearing their little ear pods, but they're not called ear pods or earbuds or whatever.
Well,
And
I'm
and,
Doctor Who knew a thing or two.
yeah, thank you, Cyberman. No kidding. Which I just watched that episode too.
Same.
Goodbye, Mickey Ricky.
Oh, Rose.
Yeah. And
Rose Tyler I.
stop it.
Oh.
So what happens in this is that she is confronted by a person who says the computer wants her to find the Holy Grail. So this artificial intelligence. Well, the artificial intelligence has named itself Mrs. Davis.
Mhm.
So there is a group of freedom fighters, I guess, who are fighting the AI. And she's like, I need you to help me defeat Mrs. Davis. And he goes, quit giving it a name. Do you call your Facebook Doug or something like that? Yeah.
So what if I
So-
did call my Facebook Doug? What are you gonna do about it, Francis?
I don't know. Anywho, that looks great. Do you
That's
ever
funny.
watch Only Murders in the Building?
No, but I've heard that it's like a cult classic.
Yeah, I think I'll go back and watch it. I started watching it and I didn't much care for Selena
It-
Gomez's character in the first season.
Well, she's supposed to be really, really dry, I think is the
Gotcha.
point of her.
Well, season 3 is coming out.
And it's like star-studded cast.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to watch that. Two more thing really big. The next big things are all Disney related or Marvel, I
Okay.
guess. So my mosaic, my Daredevil mosaic, which I love,
Mhm.
is taken right out of the back of a little, like a 3-issue run inside the comic called Born Again, Daredevil Born Again. And they are turning that into a movie / show, I think a show on Disney Plus, and everyone is signed back on. Even John Barenthal as the Punisher. So
Ah!
yeah.
Wait. You
Huh?
know what? Never
Vincent-
mind.
Vincent
Never mind.
D'Onofrio.
Never
okay.
mind. Trevin and I have never finished Daredevil.
Oh my gosh.
We started it.
Gosh.
We have
It's
we have
okay.
the rest of our life to watch so many different types of
I
forms
gotcha.
of media. Daredevil is on the list.
Okay. So another thing I wanted to talk about is that Marvel, the What If series that was on Disney Plus, the animated.
Yeah.
So Marvel is actually creating a new character and introducing her in the show. What If? Pretty much like that's what DC did with Harley Quinn. They created Harley Quinn and she first appeared in an animated form.
Is it a Native American person?
It is. It's going to be, she's Native American.
I think I saw that.
Kahorti is
Cool.
first of all, as an aside, Ed reminded, I forgot to tell you this, that the guy that played Foggy and the girl, the love interest, they have not signed on. So just the three big
But
bads.
those are the
Yeah, Foggy's
Aw.
great. Eldon Henson's his name.
Foggy.
Anyway, so this is a Native American. The entire from the Mohawk people in upstate New
Cool.
York. So the entire episode is going to be in traditional
In that language?
in that language.
Cool. That's sick.
Her name literally means, it is a Wolf Clan name, which means she stirs the forest. And
Is she
it's
gonna be a wolf?
it takes place, they're saying the Tesseract was in the United States before colonialization, before
Okay, what if Native
yeah.
Americans had Tesseract power?
I'm wondering.
Oh man.
Anywho, so that's where that goes.
Sick.
So
That's
the next
fun.
one is the thing that I'm most excited for.
Okay, lay it on me.
This is a Disney Plus show that's coming out based
Okay.
on a graphic novel by an author that we read one of his graphic novels and talked about it.
Okay, what?
So you remember we talked about Dragon Hoops?
Yes. That was a
So-
really good book.
So Gene Luen Yang, I may be mispronouncing his name and I'm sorry if I am. His first big breakthrough was called American Born Chinese. So
I saw that they're coming. Is it a doc? I thought it would look like a documentary.
Oh no, it's a show.
It's a
It's a
show.
Yes.
I saw that, but I was like, okay,
And-
cool, a documentary, but I didn't click on it.
So what happened? See, he is American born Chinese. Both of his parents were Chinese and he was born in America. And so he wrote this book as a way to deal with him having to be in the United
Two
States.
cultures.
Yes, two cultures. Yeah. And growing up in school. So the book basically follows a Chinese American, an American born Chinese student who befriends a Taiwanese kid who comes into his school.
Mm.
And then there's metaphors for life through the characters that they battle characters and all this kind of stuff. So literally the three of the main stars from everywhere Everything Everywhere All at Once are in this show.
Ew.
So Michelle Yao is in it, Stephanie Sue, which was the daughter, and
What was her name? Like Anna or something?
I can't remember. And then Kehu Kwan is also in it. So Short Round. So all three of them are in this show, and I am so stoked for it. I think it's going to be great. It starts streaming May 24th. So
Okay.
all right.
I'm Googling what her name was in the show. Joy.
Data is better than Short Round. I agree. Data. Pinches of Death. The Pinches of Death. Yeah. Joy. Yes, Joy was her name. All right. So that's Arma News. I thought that's some fun stuff coming out. There were more things, but that was the ones that I liked the best.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to do, Hannah Jo? What are you watching?
Okay, yeah. Two things. Again, I haven't watched drive anything. A lot. I drive a lot now. And I'm just kind of tired when I get home. Or we watch Doctor Who. So a lot of Doctor Who. We're finished with Rose being Tim's companion.
Okay. Oh, you're moving right along.
And are in the middle of the weird Christmas episode with Donna before Martha starts.
Oh, yes. That's the wedding one?
Her popping up in the wedding dress. Yeah.
The wedding dress. Oh, that's a good one, though.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, yeah, we're halfway through that one. So plugging right along on that one. Trevin had a good time giggling at the Daleks fighting the Cybermen. He thought that was hysterical.
Oh, so you've already gone that where Ricky came back through, and then
we're done. Rose is gone. Rose, Tyler, I.
Gotcha.
We're done.
The double doctor?
No, that doesn't happen till later.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. That happens with Donna. Gotcha. Okay. So I am still.
I'm not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go. I didn't mean to.
You're fine.
I got to go warm.
You're fine. Watch the movie Burlesque, which is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It's not top 5, but it is top 10.
It's all right. I don't like it. But anyway,
watch it. Don't let your kids watch it.
I'm not watching it.
It is a PG-13 for a reason. Love Hannah. And finished season 2 of Vox Machina.
What do you think about it?
The Adventures of Vox Machina. Here's the thing. I feel like I say this every single time I talk about Vox Machina. Sorry, Ed just commented that he likes musicals, but Burlesque was not a well-made movie, and it is campy. I will agree with you there. It is moderately trash.
I like campy, but
why it's great.
I got you.
Because it's so bad. I love it. But yeah, I finished season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina. Again, I love me that original season of Critical Role. I watched all of it. The amount of hours that I spent watching their 4-hour streams on YouTube.
I think that's it for me. I can't get into it because it seems so character heavy.
It is so character heavy.
I just don't know them.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
You can watch the cartoon. You don't need to know about them to watch the cartoon.
Well, I don't find it interesting because I don't know the characters. See what I mean?
I mean, all of those characters in that are so well fleshed out because there's literally hundreds of thousands of hours of gameplay that they did as these characters.
Exactly.
Like I think there was more than 140 episodes, and the episodes ranged anywhere from 4 to 5 hours.
Golly, that's crazy.
So there's a lot of gameplay that they did in Dungeons and Dragons as those characters. And I just love it. And the thing that they're doing right now, season 1 was about Percy, who's a particular character, Percy and Whitestone, with these like 2 bad guys that were trying to take control of everything. And I think the next couple seasons are about the Chroma Conclave, which is a group of dragons. And so they're like fighting. They're trying to find vestiges of divergence, which are these like fancy
dragons.
No, they're trying to kill the dragons, but they can't even like penetrate to the dragon's hide because their weapons aren't good enough. And so they have to get the vestiges of divergence. which are
Okay.
fancy weapons. And luckily enough, all of the fancy weapons are inclined towards a certain character because it's almost as if they were created by a dungeon master to best suit his
Well,
players.
like on purpose. Well, good job, Dungeon Master.
So
I've never played.
it was great. It was excellent. Again, this is a cartoon for adults.
Right.
So
And they have comic books.
I mean, they have all sorts of stuff.
Mhm.
They have all sorts of different types. And Critical Role is started campaign 4 or 3, I think 4 at this point.
Mhm.
So yeah, I watched
Wow.
all of the Critical Role ones in the master's program when like 2017 to 2019. I just watched all of
Watched
them.
them all.
Yeah.
Hey, this made me think. Did you know that Ruby's got a new comic book out with the Justice League?
Trevin is collecting it. And
Okay, I
their
didn't
new
know.
season has come out on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
But we're waiting for it to be free on Rooster Teeth.
There you go, Rooster Teeth. That sounds nasty.
Rooster Teeth is the.
I know.
Like
That's
where
the
it
things that
originally
roosters,
came
like
out.
mutant roosters, have. They can eat people.
Mutant roosters have teeth. Did you know that?
That's bad. So, I have been binging comic books. I hate to say that, but so I was a guest on another podcast, the Next Gen
Yeah.
podcast. I think it drops Friday, this coming Friday, and this guy has been talking about he's been reading this comic book series called Birthright, which is an
Okay.
older series by Joshua Williams, who's a really good comic book writer. He's been doing a lot with DC lately. And I think he may even be taking over, like he's doing maybe Superman. I don't know. Anyway, so he said, I got through he read through the first trade, which is like 5 issues. There are
Okay.
10 trades. I've read them all. So I was like, I don't want to read that, even though he said he was reading it. I was like, well,
what is it called again?
Birthright. There are 50 issues. And I, with my Hoopla app where I get 11 downloads a month, I used all of my 11 downloads in the first 8 days of the month. I'm done. I can't get any more free comics.
Well, I wondered if maybe not today, because I don't know where my iPad is. No, it's not an iPad. I don't know where my tablet is, but I think a segment we should do is Pops teaches Sis how to download Hoopla.
Oh yeah, there you go. That'd be awesome. No kidding. Yeah. So that'd be a great one because but yeah, it's high fantasy. It's a little bit sad, a little bit not sad. It's a lot about family. It starts out with a dad a dad and his younger son is playing catch in the park, and the mom's at home getting ready for a birthday party for the older son. And the boy, he throws the ball out, and while he's on the phone, and then he goes to find his son, and he can't find him. His son's gone. And then
no, ma'am.
So then what happens is a year later, and the family is almost all but disintegrated. The wife, they basically accuse the dad of killing the child, all that kind of stuff. So the families, and the son comes back, but he's like 26 and like a fighter, like what would you say? Like a big, huge, burly man who fights evil. And so what happened is he was
a champion or a warrior.
A warrior. I couldn't get the word right. A warrior. And he has come back from another realm. He was considered the chosen one to defeat the evil in the other realm. Well, him coming back allows the evil to come. There's a whole long story that goes all 50 issues, and then it ends up.
Does it tie it up with a little bow at the end?
Ties it up nice. Yeah. Really.
Oh, we love a bow.
We do love a bow. There were parts when I was reading this going, oh, this is hard to read, but this guy, this author really thought it out well. But anyway, awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, especially if CJ listens to this podcast. I don't want to spoil it for him. The Mandalorian, I'm catching up on every issue, and it's really good.
The comic or the TV show?
No, the TV show. The TV show.
You said issue.
I meant TV show. I say issues and episodes. I get them confused. So the one thing that I didn't notice, and I went back as I rewatched part of episode 1,
Mm.
when in episode 1 he goes back to see Carl Weathers' character, which was in the first season, and he's Mandalorian's talking to him, and he puts Grogu down in a chair while he talks, and it's a swivel chair, and Grogu just goes like the force, and the chair spins around. And every time he goes back around, he just hits it again. So it's just like a little kid sitting in a chair, spinning in a chair like any little child would do in a swivel chair. He just, while there's conversations going on between two adults, Grogu just goes, the chair just keeps spinning around. Finally, Mando just grabs the chair and holds it still. I mean, little things like that are so good. But anyway, the last episode, nice.
Don't spoil me.
I'm not going to, but
Okay.
Bo-Katan is in it, and I think she has a change of heart. Did you watch the last season?
Yeah.
Grogu? I mean, did you watch Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett?
No.
We need to watch Book of Boba Fett.
Do I have to watch that before I watch this?
It would help.
Okay.
It would help.
Okay.
So anyway, and
Well, some people loved it and some people hated it.
it was fun.
Okay.
Don't yuck somebody else's yum. That's what I said. I told that to Mom this week. She'd never heard that before. I wasn't telling that to you. I was telling everybody else. That not
I'm
yuck
just saying
somebody
some
else's.
people
Yeah,
loved
I
it
just
and
say it's
some
not
people
for
hated
me,
it.
right? I don't like it. That's fine. You
Yeah.
can love it. Picard.
We love that. Oh, is it good still?
So last episode was a little bit, I didn't like how it worked because him and Riker got into it. This last episode was really good. And Riker is like, I hate that. Without just spoiling it for everybody,
Well,
it is
don't.
literally, I'm not going to, it is, I have a feeling it's going to have just about everybody from the next generation in it before it's all said.
Ew.
So far,
I'm a next gen girly. I'm a next gen girl.
Okay, I am going to spoil one part. This was in the first or second episode.
Okay.
So in the second, there's a character in it who's been with Picard for the first 2 seasons. Her name is Raffi, and
Okay.
she's working undercover for like the Secret Service of Starfleet. And she's been trying to find out who's purchasing this weapons. And she has a handler who never just talks through a computer. She's also a recovering addict. So in order to keep her,
Is it Tasha?
in order to keep her cred, she basically does something she shouldn't do.
Bum bum.
And the guy then is like basically going to kill her and is getting ready to offer. And all of a sudden she can't see, everything's all blurry and all of a sudden she looks and she sees all this fighting start happening. And you see a Klingon Batlik slice some, like it is Worf. And he's like sliced into doing all this stuff. And then he takes that Batlik and just sticks it right in the back of his jacket. He goes, I told you, you would get yourself killed. And then he picks her up and walks off with her. He's her like, I can't wait. He looks so
I
good.
love
He's gray.
him.
He's gray.
He's
They've
such
got him
a
gray.
good man.
I know. Oh, and by the way, he's going to be writing a new comic book title for DC called Steelworks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it's
so
good.
anyway, that's about it. Because other than that, we've been watching basketball, and I've been reading comics.
Yeah, the
haven't been
SEC
watching
tournament.
shows.
And
Stop it.
dun dun.
Anyway, what do you want to do now?
Well, no, you went to a thing.
What thing did I go to? Oh yeah, I forgot to say I went and saw Black Panther, but the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra played the music live while showing the movie, which was really cool. They had a drummer. It was a certain type of African drum, and this guy was from Senegal, and
No
he played
way.
it. Oh yeah, he was on point.
That's sick.
And beforehand, there was a group of 4 or 5 people that had traditional African music and played the music and danced and everything. And
That's
they
so
pulled
fun.
people out of the audience to participate. It was great. So,
That's so
yeah, it
cool.
was so good. That was a lot of fun watching Black Panther. And they even played all the way through the credits, even to the extra credit scene. They kept
Hey.
playing. I mean, it was good.
That's fun.
So a friend of mine at MDB was saying that he went and saw one where they did like the Nightmare Before Christmas or something like
Mm.
that. And his only issue was that it was so good with the movie that sometimes he forgot that the orchestra was there. And I was like, it's the same way. You have to constantly be reminded, look down, watch these people. I mean, they're good. The mom and I kept seeing the tuba player. He was like, "Brrr." It was so great. Yeah,
Well,
my
okay.
friend Dave Manley said Black Panther Live.
I mean, that's what it was.
It was fantastic. It was so good.
If anyone sees How to Train Your Dragon with that, like that type of vibe, but How to Train Your Dragon,
You want
I
to go
want to
see
go.
that?
Trevin and I want to go see it.
Listen, Empire Strikes Back. We saw it with Empire
Sick.
Strikes Back.
Well, they're having
That
Ratatouille
was so
next month.
Ratatouille.
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 Patootie.
Rat Patootie. Ratatouille. That's from Everywhere, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Rat Patootie is a
Ratatouille.
joke from actual Ratatouille, but they're doing that in the symphony's doing that.
Are they really?
In Nashville.
They're doing
Ratatouille.
that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody, you could go take your kids to see it. I mean, because to expose them to the symphony.
It's a good entrance into like sitting in a theater, like a fancy theater and things like that.
It's
like
fancy.
If you don't think your kid can sit through like a musical or something like that, but you want them to experience some sort of fine art, then that feels like a really accessible way.
When we went and saw Empire Strikes Back, during
Kids
the part
everywhere.
No, there were young people. It was well done. I mean, there were children, but I never really thought, oh, this kid won't shut up or anything like that. You know, they were really good. Kids were good, but we were up in the balcony, and when the part comes, when they're getting ready to, you know, right after they put Han in the carbonite, when they freeze him, and Luke confronts Darth Vader, and it's all dark, like you can just see their outlines or whatever, and Luke Skywalker's lightsaber goes and it comes up. A dude in like the 6th or 5th row of the place
lightsaber
stands up with the Luke's color lightsaber, and then Darth Vader's comes up. A guy 2 or 3 seats from him on the other side stands up with a Darth Vader lightsaber, and they perfectly choreographed the fight for about, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds, 30 seconds max.
Is epic.
Just the right amount of time to be awesome and not too long.
And then just to be done.
And then they just sat down. It was like so cool.
That's so fun. Awesome.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, go do that if you get a chance to do that. All right. What now, babe?
Comic books. Thank you for understanding what my scatting was.
Yeah.
Skibbity,
I got home and one of my books wasn't in there.
Oh no.
Yeah, they pulled it. They were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We don't know how we missed it. It's the Avengers." Luke, I am your choreographer. That's from my friend Dave Manningly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
So explain what a pull list is, Hannah Jo.
Yeah, a pull list is a list of comics that you are collecting that you give to your local comic book shop, and they pull from their inventory the comics that you're collecting. That way you have a stack waiting for you. That way they always have what you are collecting. That way it doesn't get sold and you miss a comic. Sometimes if you have a lovely relationship with the proprietor of your local comic book shop, they will actually special order you books that they don't necessarily keep in stock. That way you can continue collecting what's important to you.
Exactly. So what I try to do is I try to pick one book from Marvel, one book from DC, a book from an independent publisher, and then I also pick a new #1 for people if they want to get started reading it, and a book of the week.
A book of the week.
Let's just start off with
the book of the week.
I struggled with my Marvel book this week. I wanted to do Black Panther, but it was because it was the last issue in this run by Ridley Scott. Not Ridley Scott. No, it wasn't Ridley Scott.
I was like, dang, okay, I didn't know he was writing.
No, it's the guy who did 12 Years a Slave. Anyway,
I was believing I chose too.
So that wasn't Ridley Scott. So this book that I chose is issue 3 of Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
So Scarlet Witch is the writer is Steve Orlando, who's been around for a long time, but the artist is Sarah Pichelli, so a female writer. So this book it's for people who collect comic books or have in the past, there used to be a thing that like Marvel and DC would do where they would have one of their main characters have a book and then other characters would guest star in it. So there would be like Marvel Team Up always had Spider-Man plus another character every issue.
Well, yeah, it's team up.
Yeah. So Marvel 2-in-1 was The Thing and another character. DC did it for a while with the Brave and the Bold and other characters. So this literally feels like that type of book, but with Scarlet Witch. She is running a magic store in like downtown New York.
Fun.
And her person who helps run the store is Darcy.
Dave says
World's
that Darcy
finest.
is such a great
Yeah.
addition to Scarlet Witch. Ed says world's finest.
Yeah. And
I don't know what that means.
World's finest was Superman and a guest, but now
Oh,
it's
okay.
like now it's Batman and Superman is what it is right now.
Well, there's a comic book that Trevin said that he's really loving right now, and it's Batman and the Joker.
Now, listen, there's 9 million Batman books. I don't even know if I'm reading Batman and the Joker. Probably not.
I don't
mean,
even know. I'm
it's-
telling you wrong because it's more words than that, and I didn't use all of the words he used to me when he tells me
That's
about
great.
it. But he's like, "You should tell your dad about this one," and I was like, "Okay."
Well, he'll tell me when I see him next weekend.
Fact.
So in this issue of Scarlet Witch, it basically, so what happens is in her store, there is a door that when the door opens, someone comes through that door. They come through because it's their last hope. So if they need help, they would walk in and that person, that's the last door they go through because they need help. So this one took place. This was a person from Subatomica. So basically, we're going back to the Quantumanium type thing.
Well, they're trying to get people to care
Love
about
the
that right
Quantumanium.
now.
Yeah. So it was really good. It ends with a cliffhanger. You find out why Darcy's hanging there, and the next issue is going to deal with that. So, yeah. So my DC book is Monkey Prince, number 12. This
Like
is
the monkey's paw.
No, Monkey Prince, number 12. Monkey Prince is a mini series. This is the last issue.
Okay.
So this finalizes. It is written by the guy who did American Born Chinese and Dragon Hoops.
Okay. Yeah. Fun.
And it's been a fun ride. It's been so good. It's like actually one of my favorite new comic books. It feels like old school comic. It's not so dark and dreary. The cool thing about the Monkey Prince is that his parents, he's a superhero. His parents are professional henchmen. So they like work for these villains. And his dad is actually, his grandpa's a villain, but he is a superhero. So it's a great, I really enjoy it. And now it's over. So I'm sure they'll collect all 12 and you'll be able to,
you can buy it.
read them. Yeah. So there you go.
Fun. Okay.
My independent book is from Image. It is Gospel issue 5. This is a heavy book, but not a heavy book. This book takes place right at the beginning of when they are starting to print the Bible. And actually this deals with a church and an evil creature trying to take over the land that the church is on. It sounds spooky, but it's not spooky.
I say that
It's
sounds
all
really
about
spooky.
It's all about storytelling and how whoever tells the story is actually, we could really make this myth sound a whole lot better than it is if we just tell it the right way. Right. So it follows a young girl who is trying to, and she's got a young man with her who works for the church, but doesn't want to because he wants to get Bibles into everyone's hands because at that point, the church believed that everyone shouldn't have a Bible.
Yeah, that reading the Bible was heresy.
Exactly. So it deals with that in here as well. But this finishes, it's a 5-issue mini that's put out by Image, and this is the last issue. And I would suggest anybody who, it's really good. I was surprised, but it got me because it had the word gospel. Anytime I think there's going to be anything having to do with faith or anything like that, I will
check it out.
I want to check it out. And sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's terrible, but that's all right. All right. So
New
my new
number
number
one.
one. My new number one for this week is DC. It's from DC. It is called The Adventures of Superman John Kent. So something that DC just did recently is they just did like basically a let's try to get it seems like they do this every year. Let's try to get rid of all the old guys and make the new kids hot and interesting again. So this is basically the son of Superman,
Okay.
John Kent, and
Kent.
Kent. Yes, he had it. This is by Tom Taylor, the guy who I love. Tom Taylor, he's a great writer. He's writing Nightwing. He's been writing this book. They basically just relaunched Superman, the Superboy. I don't know. They relaunched it with a new number one.
Okay.
But the cool thing about this book is that they make it seem like this is going to be a prelude to the storyline called Injustice.
Oh, okay. I know about that.
Yeah, where Superman goes crazy and wipes everybody out, and they end up having to bring Lois Lane from another universe to, yeah. So it has to deal with all of that. And Dave just asked if I was preaching at the
I was going to
Lexington
bring that up
Comic-Con,
at the
and
end of your thing because
Gotcha.
we're going to talk about what you're going to be at the next
Gotcha.
couple.
right.
in a couple
We'll talk
weekends.
about the short answer is no, I'm not. So yeah.
Lame.
But anyway, anywho, so much going on. I just couldn't get it together.
Oh, okay. I thought that they weren't going to let you.
No. I'm sure they would have. I just couldn't get it together.
Fair.
So my book of the week.
You busy guy. It's been a
Yeah.
busy couple months.
It has been.
High key.
Okay. So that's my new number one. And that's a good jumping on place for people if they want to jump on with Superman books. So my book of the week.
Book of the week. It's the book of the week.
All right. So this is sort of like a lame-o choice because
No.
you and I have already literally discussed this entire run, but they just published issue 1 this past week, and it is Clear by Scott Snyder.
They published it? Like
Yes,
you were
so
able to buy the book?
You're able to buy the book. And
Oh,
she's a big,
that's
she's a big
that's
boy.
so cool.
It's from Dark Horse Comics. It is Clear, issue number 1. I think it's probably some of Scott's. I mean, I loved We Are Demons. Don't get me wrong.
We
that
Are
was great.
Demons was so good.
But this Clear, it turned out to be very good. It's like a
The
futuristic.
twist.
It's a futuristic detective noir book. Wouldn't you say that's what it is?
Yeah.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, pick it up. Honestly, if you don't want if you don't want floppies,
Amazon.
You can read it for free if you have Amazon Prime on the Kindle app. Clear 1 through 5. But
will you put, like, do you have it in front of you? I want to see it. It is big. She a big boy.
thick. It's a lot of pages, and it's a Comixology original. So yeah, I don't know how
That's
many
so
issues there'll be.
cool.
I don't
It
know
was
if it'll be
5,
5.
wasn't it?
I know, but this is pretty big. I mean, yeah, probably 5. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
It's just
So-
fun to hold things, you know?
I'm a floppy guy. I always said I was until I got my iPad, and now I
Well-
burned through 50 issues of one book.
Hey, being
Mhm.
able to enjoy both and knowing that
Mhm.
there's a time and place for both,
Yeah.
it's a good skill to have.
Speaking of burning through comic books, Hannah
Mm.
and I read a series.
We did.
I don't know how many issues it would have been.
It wasn't, it didn't see it. There were no marcations.
I think it was
of when
100 and
stopped. It
100
was
and something
181,
pages.
172 or something like that. I'm speaking
142.
so definite.
142 pages. But that
Maybe there was a
also
2 in
includes
there.
the title and the appendices and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It was a Vertigo book called The Dead Boy Detectives by Jill Thompson. The Dead Boy Detectives, if you don't know who they are, it says so graphic novel, LOL. Yes.
Well, it
think
was
a great-
originally published in small pieces in the Sandman comic books.
Well, no, I don't think so. These characters are from the Sandman universe, and she did do art and writing for Sandman, Swamp Thing, and all that. This may have just been released as a solid graphic novel. I don't know the answer. And then
I
again,
don't
it may not have
either.
been. But this was
It was
this is the
cute.
dead. Trying to find the year.
It was older.
2005. So if you've been
Oh, the
watching,
fact that 2005 is older.
that's hilarious.
Ugh.
So if you've been watching the uh Doom Patrol on HBO Max,
I
the
haven't.
Dead Boy Detectives show up
No, they
in
don't.
Yes, they do.
Are they
Yeah.
like kids in that still?
No, no. They are I'd say they're high school, late high school, maybe. I don't know what they're supposed to be. Oh, Ed got married, and that's when Ed got
In
married in
2005. That's sweet.
2005. So and matter of fact, we mentioned the Dead Boy Detectives last week because they don't fit into James Gunn's vision for the DC universe.
Yep.
So the show that they've got coming out for the Dead Boy Detectives
Is going to
is going to
Hulu?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Just like they did Sweet Tooth. So
We did talk about
explain-
that.
explain what this book is.
So this book is these two boys who have died and are ghosts receive a letter in the mail asking for help because their friend has gone missing and they think that she's been like either stolen or murdered.
The people
And they're
asking
these-
for friend, asking them for help, say their friend, not the Dead Boy
Yeah,
Detectives.
no,
friend.
not the Dead Boy Detectives. These group of girls at this posh boarding school in New York.
I don't have any clue. Like, what's the age on the girls at these schools? Because
I
the one
have
girl's really
so many
little.
questions because one is high key a toddler, and the rest of
Exactly.
them are like 17.
Middle school, or were they really?
Like,
I know.
like they had like old Mean Girl vibes.
Okay, gotcha.
Like girls were not that mean to me when I was in middle school. Granted, I was nice.
This is
and would've
very
told on them.
manga influenced.
Yes. Big vibes. Big
With the-
vibes.
with the big eyes and the
big, huge eyes, like dramatized, like arm movements and like
Yes.
hand stuff and
Right.
things like
Yeah.
like a hand gets really big when it's
And
in
it's
your face type
black and
thing.
white.
Uh-huh.
It's
Which
black and
majority
white.
of manga is in black and white.
Right. So
Um,
yes, they have to go to the school, and the kids can see them, but adults can't.
Adults
for the most
can't,
part.
but some adults can. Some adults can if they believe in whimsy.
yes.
Ed's asking if it's Scott Pilgrim-ish. Ish.
No,
It's not as like the
no.
lines aren't as thick. It's
No, it
very
is,
much.
it's like
It's like lighter,
like
airier than Scott Pilgrim, in my opinion.
Sailor Moonish,
Yeah,
closer to Sailor Moon
Yeah.
type, but not minus the
color
and over the girls with things.
and
It-
they're
this was
children.
They're
They're
children.
clearly
so they're-
children.
Well, they're
The
children. in
mean
those
girls
things
are
too,
older.
but they draw. Some manga draw girls way.
No, this looks like they're if
Kids.
they're in elementary school, they look like they're in elementary school.
Correct. Yeah.
If they're in middle school, they look like they're in middle school.
Right. So, yeah. And here's the deal. I'm not into manga that much, so I really don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Huh.
I would say, I tell you what, I have read a couple. The art is very similar to Attack on Titan. That would be very similar
Hmm.
to the art style. So excuse me.
You're fine.
Yeah.
I'm bending over to
I'm
blow my
coughing
nose.
and
You're
you're blowing
coughing.
your nose. Hack,
It's-
hack.
It's March in Kentucky.
Woohoo. Yeah. It's
I'm in-
70, and then the next day it's 20.
It's 25.
So-
You got to defrost your car, pull out a winter sweater from where
I
you hid
did.
it from when
I'm
you
wearing a
got full
sweater
spring.
right now. I know.
Man.
So, yeah, what'd you think about this book?
I really honestly enjoyed it. Parts of it were really, really cute. Parts of it were witty. Parts of it were just funny. It wasn't inappropriate, in my opinion.
That teacher, she's got a thing for the teacher thing was a little
That
bit
was
creepy.
kind of gross, but it kind of was
Mhm.
like a whole like pull the mask off, who done it, sort of like
It's like a Scooby-Doo
type
episode.
vibe toward at the
Mhm.
end. Like you kind of understand, like they have all of these clues about all of these teachers, like all of these teachers could have done it, the janitor could have done it, all of these things.
Mhm.
And then it's kind of Scooby-Doo.
Nobody did it.
Happens.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And then the end was funny too, with the little girl getting
Which one?
in trouble.
Oh,
The
yes.
mom. That was
With the mom.
funny.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, it was good. I mean, I think
What'd you think of
Teen-
it?
Teen Girl, it's not something I would have bought, not something I would have purchased. And here's the deal. I've read a lot of the Sandman books. This is not Sandman at all.
Mm-mm.
at all.
I
However,
think late middle, early high school would enjoy this.
yeah. And if you like manga, I think the art
Yeah.
style is very good too.
Yeah.
So they do have a couple characters. You probably don't even know who they
Mm-mm.
are, but Death does show up in here multiple
Yeah,
times.
because the guy
She's the
accidentally
girl with
gets
the
hurt,
thing around. Yeah. And
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 they're
then
like
there's
running
like
from her because they're ghosts.
and then there's an extra thing at the very end of the book, like another little story.
That was weird. I just kind of glanced through it. There was a guy
Yeah.
who looked like a troll or an
That is-
orc.
That is not a guy. They make it to look like a guy. That's a girl.
Okay.
There are two different girls. Those are two other in the Sandman character kingdom. All of his brothers and sisters have names that start with a D. So the girl with her writing with the haircut, half cut, she is Delirium.
Hmm.
That's why her writing looks big, little, small, whatever. The other is a sister. That's a girl. Her name is Despair.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Delirium,
Sorry.
she used to be Delight, but things as the world changed and became less, she became
That's really
Delirium.
sad too.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so that's what that was. And that was a little bizarrish. The last little story. That was a little bit
It was
weird.
weird.
But
I didn't really
story,
I didn't really read it. I kind of
I
just
liked
was
it.
like, I'll flip through this if Dad
was
mentions
fun.
it.
I thought the very end, how it ended was like, oh gosh, it was just ridiculous how
It was
ended.
kind of like you've been punked,
Yeah, you've been punked.
or
You
like
read this whole thing
Scooby
and-
Doo.
yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, that's all I
Mhm.
could think of.
So I won't ever read it again. There are some books that I will reread. This one is one of those I won't.
Elf Quest.
But yeah. Exiles.
I love. Oh, those are my two favorites.
Yeah, I reread them all the time. I mean, there's a lot of them I reread, but not this one. So anyway, it was by Vertigo through DC. You can read it for free on Amazon Prime if you have the Kindle app.
Right on.
So,
Right on.
so we've got just a little bit of time left, and Everything Everywhere All at Once won 18 million
Smashed.
awards
Smashed at the
at the Oscars.
at the Oscars, you all. And Oscars. There she is.
Hannah and I both saw it. I
We
think we might have
did.
talked about this before. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast before or not.
I know we've talked about it in real life before.
Yeah.
Trevin and I went and saw it in the movie theater. He really wanted to go see it, and then it left the theater. And then we were chatting about what we were going to do one weekend, and I was just scrolling through the Regal app, and it was back in our theater for like 3 showings, and they were all at like 10 p.m. And so we went and watched it, and we were 2 out of 5 people that were in the
Oh,
audience
wow.
to watch
So
it.
you couldn't run around and scream.
No. We're going to
Bummer.
cosplay hot dog fingers anywhere, my guy.
Yes, you can do it this
Anywhere.
weekend.
Well, this was something I saw on social media today. Don't know if this is true, but that they raised millions of dollars from auctioning off set pieces and costumes and props from
Really?
Everything Everywhere All at Once to raise money for charity.
Well, that's awesome.
I don't know
that's
what
great.
charity, but they like the reason that I'm thinking about it
New
is
Song Counseling could use
they
it.
had hot dog finger hands
Oh yeah,
that they auctioned off for like $15,000,
that's crazy.
like an absurd amount of money for like these costume
Mhm.
pieces.
So, if people haven't seen the movie, I think it's the best portrayal of the multiverse ever. And everybody's doing multiverse. Marvel, DC, they've done it forever and ever and ever. But so I really, and it's a movie that you have to go back and watch multiple. I've watched it 2 or 3 times now, and there's something else that you see that you didn't see when you saw it the first time. I sort of felt bad for the daughter because
Joy.
she didn't win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress because Jamie Lee Curtis did, but Jamie Lee Curtis was great in it.
Jamie Lee Curtis was so good
I know.
in
And
that.
I just like her, period. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know the new girl, but
She has time.
yeah. And actually it was interesting. Jamie Lee Curtis's acceptance speech was like, This belongs to all of us. All of you who sat with me through all of my basically B-level horror films that followed me and supported me. This is our Oscar. For all of you who when
Yo play
all
commercials.
yeah, all of you who were there, this is our Oscar to so, and plus she's never had any work done.
She's such a cool lady.
I know. That's
Jamie
how
Lee
it's
Curtis
done.
is such a cool lady.
And the acceptance speeches for everyone was so good.
I love that.
I know. Just though, okay, so I didn't know this, but short round data, I can't pronounce his name right.
Wayman.
Yes, when he came up to accept his, and he was like so excited and so thankful. And he was a refugee from the Vietnam War and lived in a refugee camp for
He
a
lived
year.
in a refugee camp for a year when he moved to America.
And he basically said, if you would have told me this would happen, he goes, this is the American dream. He
Oh,
said,
that's beautiful.
and it was so sweet. And then Michelle Yeoh for her mom and everything, and for believing in her. And listen, she's great in Star Trek Discovery, which she's no longer in now. She's not in she won't be in the last season because
she's too famous now.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. They probably had to do the same
Oops.
thing they had to do with Brendan Fraser.
I'm sorry,
That's
they're
why
too
she
famous
hasn't-
now.
You can't afford me, right?
That's so funny. But hey, Dave Mattingly said, "Long live Brendan Fraser." Agreed.
Yes. Yeah, and
Underrated
I like how I said,
guy.
uh-huh,
Not anymore.
not anymore.
Rated now.
Now Robot Man has an Oscar from
Ugh.
Doom Patrol.
Well, I'm just
That's
saying, like, he in The Mummy was phenomenal. George of the
Okay.
Jungle.
What do we have to do to get the Batwoman movie released? Really?
I honestly
They
don't know.
literally, they
Well,
you
they
know,
pushed back Marvels again too.
No. They filmed this whole movie and said, we're never showing it.
Really?
Never. Yes.
How bad is
Um,
it?
I don't know, but he's the villain in that movie.
Sick.
Brendan Fraser is the villain in the Batwoman movie.
Well, I was just thinking, I think that he's just so cuddly. I think he's such a cuddly guy, but I'm thinking he'd make a good Kingpin too.
Oh, no. Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
Oh no, his Kingpin is all the chef's kiss.
On 100%.
All of
And,
the chef kisses.
Dave in the chat mentions Blast from the Past. That was a great movie. You probably don't even know what that is.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, the biggest part of that I remember is he has all these old comic baseball cards from when they like go into like a fallout shelter and come back in today's time. And so it's like, what's going on anyway? So
I'm loving all of these. You're getting roasted today from Ed. Dad.
I know.
Ed's roasting you. I'm loving all of these people that are coming back into acting later in life.
Yeah.
Like Brendan Fraser acted for a while and then he was gone for a while. And now
yeah,
he's
but
back.
that was, I don't think that's because he wanted to be gone for a while. That's because he was
Was
abused.
he a nugget?
No, he was.
Oh, he was
suffered
hurt.
abuse. Yes,
Man.
from a part of the, I think the foreign press or something like that.
That makes
from
me
somebody.
really, really angry.
Yeah. So he was. That was it for that. So that's why he basically.
Well, I'm glad for.
Yes, he's made it back.
I'm glad for it. Like I'm imagining, like my own work.
Okay.
Having to take a time and a step back for a season and then being able to do it again would feel like
Here's
a
a movie.
release or a breath of air.
I think a movie I would watch. You'd have to have Brendan Fraser, Keanu Reeves, and Nick Cage. Those three in a movie together. That's just printing money. That's like printing money.
All I wanted to do
And Nick
was
Cage
to
doesn't even
watch
have to say
The
anything.
Unbearable Weight of
I
Massive
know.
Talent.
We got to figure it out.
I wanted to watch
Anyway.
that this week, but it was going to cost money for us to watch it. I wish it was
hilarious.
just on a streaming service.
So we got off the track of talking about everywhere, everything, all at once. I like this movie. Here is why. It's all about family and
It
redeeming the
is.
family, and generational misunderstanding one another. It's not just
generational wounds, how wounds
generational
can be
wounds.
passed.
And how basically by going through this multiverse, they become the best versions of themselves, and they both rescue each other. Basically, it is a mother-daughter story at its heart, I believe. Don't you think? With the bagel, I
Yes.
mean, yeah. So
I
just makes
love I love the part where Joy, the mom just wants to be with Joy. Like, I'm
is that
not
when they're
going to,
rocks?
yeah. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
going to let you run away from me.
yeah,
Like, you
exactly.
are my
I
daughter
love
and
that.
I love you. And
Mhm.
you're going to know it. Even if I'm
Yeah.
annoying, even if I have to follow you across all of these dimensions,
Well, you remember
you are
that
my daughter and
whenever
I
you get
love you.
upset at your mom, she will follow you across dimensions.
Well,
I
and
will maybe go two or three and then just say, just
thanks.
come get me
Thanks,
later.
Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it truly is a love story about family, and it's not just like, it's all parts of family. So it's mother
Yeah.
to daughter, but grandfather
Mother
to daughter,
and mother
grandfather
to
to
husband.
mother, mother to husband. Like, it's all of how all
So
of these pieces work together.
yeah, yeah. And Wayman does not want a divorce.
Waymond. He
I
didn't
mean,
know.
I know. It's so good. Such a
Oh, it's
great
so
movie.
good. How they're able to do all of those different
Yes.
characters.
Yes. It was so good.
It was so good.
Hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis with the hot dog fingers.
I know. Yeah. And how her singing and how she was like an act like a was she like an act like a singing star or whatever.
Or she could hold her
And
breath for so long because she
yes,
was a singer and she could do
yeah.
karate, and
And
they're
because
like,
she had a
you are
raccoon
she's like,
in
this
the
is the
hat.
one dimension that we think you can do all of these things because you're so unremarkable. You haven't done anything. And I'm like,
then
dang.
she snorts a fly. I mean, what the heck is that?
Okay. Eats a tube of chapstick.
Oh yeah, eats two.
Some
That's
of
right.
it's inappropriate, y'all.
It's rated R. This is not a
Oh,
movie for
okay.
kids.
Okay. I didn't
It's
know what
rated
it was
R.
rated.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, goodness gracious, they use her award.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was alluding to, and some of it is inappropriate.
I
I was
got big
trying to be
eyes. I got big
gentle
eyes.
about it.
I just said award. So
Okay, yeah.
anyway,
Well, everybody,
all
that
right.
thing sold for like $50,000 or some such
That's
nonsense.
gross. That's
Isn't
nasty.
that hysterical?
I'm not even. That's not
The
even talking about it.
award,
So here's
hysterical.
Hannah. Here's what I want us to do for next time.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna watch the animated movie on HBO Max, Flashpoint,
Okay.
and you're gonna watch the new Flash trailer.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
I know, and we're also gonna. I'm gonna try to get you the Flashpoint uh, comic book, and we're gonna talk Flashpoint.
Well, hey, I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods here in a
I
couple
know.
weekends. Why am
I
I gonna
know.
be up in Lexington, Kentucky on around the 22nd, 23rd,
Fourth,
22nd,
fifth, and
23rd,
sixth.
24th, 25th? Wrong?
23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th.
That one.
It's because that is the Lexington Comic and Toy Convention.
Ew.
And Big Pops here is going to have his Mosaic fan art there.
Yeah, he is.
And as of right now, I believe Spider-Man might make his
Whoop whoop. Debut.
Lexington debut.
Lexington
Not
debut.
debut, because he was in Whirling Sterling. But
His Lexington debut.
It
He
is
made
Lexington
his world
debut.
but he's making his Lexington debut.
The plan is for him to go there.
That'd be
If
sick.
it all works out. If not, Harley will show up.
Well,
But
here's the thing. I will stand there and will help people know how to be safe and take good pictures if
oh yeah,
necessary.
it'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be good. I'm not worried about that.
I will be the girl in a Mabel sweater.
I know. So yeah, so come check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
cosplay one
Here's
day.
the deal. If you what word, what phrase, what should they mention to get a free sticker if you come to our booth?
It needs to be something like
Oh no,
Sis and
no.
Big
Here's what you
Pops.
do. You have to tell me who your favorite Spider-Man is. If you walk up and say, "Hey, Todd, yeah, you think you should say Sis and Big Pops?" Nah.
Nah, who knows?
To tell me who your favorite Spider-Man is, you get a free sticker.
Right on.
So yeah. So anyway,
Yeah,
that's
Ed
it.
knows Gravity Falls. You need to watch Gravity Falls, Dad.
I read the little book.
You would love the you'd
I
love the
Ugh.
cartoon.
Okay.
You would think it's
Anyway.
so cutie.
Okay. So
Those are the
cutie.
words you'd use too. You would call me and say, Hannah, you were right.
That's
This
so
is
cutie.
so cutie.
All right, cutie.
And being silly,
Well,
you wouldn't say that.
I know. I wouldn't. All right, Hannah, take us home.
Hey, sweet friends, thanks for hanging with us. No, Ed's bashing me saying I failed as a child. Sorry, I thought that was funny.
Listen,
You've
everybody
gotten
out
hate
there
today,
in
and
hold
I've
on,
gotten hate
everybody
today.
out there in the podcast land, all of our 7 listeners who don't know who my friend Ed or Dave are, they're friends of mine. And Ed's a huge comic book fan. Dave is really big in the nerd Christian community, and I love them both, and that's why they're. If
And
you want to
if you
join
want
us
to
on
join
the
us
live,
on Tuesdays at about 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern,
you can hop on.
Yeah, we watch.
We go live. We go live
go
on Big
live.
Pop's Facebook.
Yeah. So yeah,
Hit us up.
that's
I'll
all.
give you the link. That's all. Anyway, bring us
we
home.
love you, Ed. Okay, so friends, this was Sis and Big Pop's Culture. Thanks for listening. Our intro music was created and performed by Brockwell Nason. You can check him out anywhere you listen to music. He has a new single that's come out here recently. That's a love song about his sweet, sweet wife that you can listen to.
And if you want him to write your own song,
he does that.
He does that. It costs monies, but it's worth it.
You can hit him up and he will write a song for you about anything you want him to write you a song about.
Trust me, I've heard some of the lyrics.
Literally anything, my friends. Quite literally anything.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Our art was made in Microsoft Paint by Nate. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. Our YouTube channel is maintained by Dear Pops, and it actually is being maintained. He literally uploaded the last episode. Like, what is life?
It was like went from episode 45 to 63.
Yeah, so I edit and upload our podcast on all of our podcasting network spaces. And yeah, we're just glad for you to hang out with us on our little corner of the interwebs.
We're going to probably go to about every other week. Sometimes we might not, but that's the plan. However, I'm hoping next week we might do a live podcast for about 15, 20 minutes at the Comic-Con. That's the plan.
Might be fun. Hear
might
the
work,
stuff
might
in the
not.
background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, friends,
family, countrymen. That's the wrong thing. Anyway, until then, we will
catch you on the flippity
flop.
Bye, sweet friends. And our dear sweet Facebook pals, thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah, and YouTube watchers.
Yes, we're thankful for you.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.